The heart-wrenching tale of John Q. Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a devoted father named John Quincy Archibald. John was the kind of man who worked tirelessly at a local factory, coming home each night exhausted but filled with joy to see his beloved family. His wife Denise and their young son Michael were his entire world. For John, nothing mattered more than the laughter of his son and the warmth of his family. One fateful day, everything changed. John and his family had been looking forward to Michael's Little League baseball game. It was a day filled with excitement and hope, with John cheering proudly from the bleachers. But in an instant, that joy turned to terror when Michael collapsed on the field. Panic ensued as paramedics rushed to the scene, and John's heart raced as he followed the ambulance to the hospital, fear gnawing at him. At the hospital, the news was devastating. The doctors informed John and Denise that Michael was suffering from a severe heart condition. The only solution was a heart transplant, but the cost was staggering, $250,000. As they sat in the sterile hospital room, the gravity of their situation sank in. Their health insurance would not cover the expense, and despair washed over John. The clock was ticking, and time was not on their side. Days turned into weeks, and despite their efforts to raise funds, selling possessions, reaching out to family, and even starting a crowdfunding campaign, nothing worked. John felt helpless as he watched his son grow weaker, confined to a hospital bed. Each day that passed was a dagger to his heart, and he was running out of options. One night, as John sat by Michael's bedside, he was overcome by a wave of desperation and determination. He couldn't just stand by and let his son die. In that moment, John made a life-altering decision. He would do whatever it took to save Michael, even if it meant breaking the law. With a heart full of love and fear, he resolved to take matters into his own hands. The following day, John entered the hospital armed with a handgun. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Fear and confusion gripped the staff and patients. John took several people hostage, demanding that his son be placed on the transplant list. In his eyes, he was not a criminal, but a father fighting for his child's life. As the standoff unfolded, Dr. Raymond Turner, the lead surgeon, found himself drawn into John's plight. Through tense negotiations, John expressed his anguish and determination, sharing his story and the desperate love that drove him to this point. Dr. Turner, despite the chaotic situation, recognized the humanity in John's actions. They were not simply negotiating with a man holding a gun, they were talking to a father who would do anything for his son. The media quickly caught wind of the standoff, broadcasting the events live. Across the nation, people began to rally behind John, sharing stories of their own struggles with healthcare and the crippling costs of medical treatment. The public's empathy swelled, transforming John into a symbol of the fight against an unfair system. As the hours ticked away, the pressure mounted. John's resolve was unwavering, but his options were running out. With Michael's condition deteriorating, John was faced with a heartbreaking choice. In a moment of sheer desperation, he offered his own heart to save his son, proclaiming he would willingly sacrifice himself for Michael's chance at life. Just as all hope seemed lost, the miraculous news arrived. A compatible heart had been found. The hospital sprang into action and the team prepared for the transplant. John felt a surge of relief wash over him, knowing that Michael would live. However, the price of his actions was still looming. As the dust settled, John was taken into custody, standing before a judge to answer for his desperate choices. In that moment, the question lingered in the air: should a father be punished for his love? In the end, John Q is not just a story about a man pushed to his limits. It's a powerful exploration of parental love, sacrifice, and the harsh realities of a flawed healthcare system. It reminds us of the lengths to which a parent will go to protect their child and the profound impact one person's story can have on the world. As the credits roll, viewers are left to ponder their own values and the true meaning of family, love, and sacrifice.